Welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you here on Coffee with CEF. I'm your host, Johnny Munoz, and I'm the Engagement and Stewardship Manager for the Catholic Education Foundation of Los Angeles. If this is the first time you are joining us for Coffee with CEF, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. The Catholic Education Foundation provides tuition awards to thousands of students every year, thanks to the tremendous and passionate support of our donors. I'm going to cover a few housekeeping items before we get underway today. That way you are prepared for today's session. So first off, I would like to remind everyone, as we always do, is to look at the top right corner of your screen, and here's where you can select the view of the session today. And so if you click on that little icon on the right, you'll see speaker view, gallery view. And so we recommend setting it on speaker view, so that way you can focus on whoever's speaking at that point in the session. And as you may remember, that we start with all microphones muted. And so if you see that you are not muted, kindly just mute yourself. This allows for the best sound quality. And whenever you would like to speak and we ask you to speak, then you can definitely go ahead and unmute. But that'll help us out today in a large and a big way. So thank you so much. But we do encourage you all to ask any questions that you have of our guests, any affirmations, anything that you feel you want to share. Go ahead and do that in the chat feature, and we will attempt to address that throughout the show, okay? Lastly, if you have any questions for us or need to reach out at any point in this morning's session, I have my colleague Sandra, and she will be working behind the scenes to make sure you guys are all taken care of. All right. So Sandra, if you'd like to unmute and say hi to everyone, that'd be awesome.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the graphic design and communications coordinator here. And if you have any questions for our guests, feel free to drop them down below in the chat feature, or if you have any technical difficulties, please let me know and I'll be happy to assist. Let's get started.
Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate it. As always, thanks. And another thing that we're excited about is to take a few seconds and commit some time and create some space for all of us to come together and just thank God for this opportunity that He's given us. He's given us this opportunity to connect in His name and to continue to do His work. And so I do invite all of you just to take a few seconds to yourself and thank God for all He has done and continues to do for us. Thank you. And so without any further ado, this morning we are super excited to we're gonna have a great session, a full hour packed with so many great stories. But we're especially honored to hear from two of our CEF all-girl high schools as they educate us on the remarkable programs they have in place for their students to reach their highest heights. These programs give them hands-on experience in the work field of their choice. We have St. Mary's Academy coming from Inglewood, and we also have Bishop Conaty-Our Lady of Loretto High School in Los Angeles. And both of these high schools offer programs that range from health, engineering, law, education, arts, you name it. If you're interested in it and you are a student, they probably have a program for you. So we were just so excited to learn more about this today. And it's truly outstanding what they have for their students. And I can't wait to hear all about it. So first guest we have today, I will start by introducing Dr. Chris Anderson. He's the vice principal at St. Mary's Academy. Dr. Anderson is in his third year at St. Mary's Academy under the role of vice principal after spending a decade in various roles in Catholic high schools across California. He began his career as a social studies teacher, a coach, and student moderator, and has served in other roles such as Dean of Students, Advanced Placement Coordinator, and Department Chair. Dr. Anderson is a Southern California native, but has spent time in Northern Idaho and Northern California before returning to the LA area in 2012. He received his undergraduate degree from the University of Idaho in secondary education with an emphasis in social teaching. He earned his master's degree in Catholic School Administration from LMU in 2015 and also completed his doctoral studies at LMU in educational leadership for social justice. Dr. Anderson believes a collaborative school environment is key to developing successful students and teachers. He believes partnerships with parents and community stakeholders are essential to enriching the experience at St. Mary's Academy. I love this one. Dr. Anderson is currently reading The Listening Leader by Shane Suddief. So important to be a good listener. Thanks so much for being with us, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. We are honored. Next, we have Andrea Jenov. She is the principal at Bishop Conaty-Our Lady of Loretto High School. In 2016, Andrea left retirement to become a principal at Bishop Conaty. In that time, Andrea has expanded academic and co-curricular programs for all students. She created support programs for students needing assistance to reach their academic goals. She introduced dual enrollment programs, allowing students to take college classes at no additional charge. Also with that, she has created magnet programs and pathways. They were created to assist students exploring their career interests and passions. The result of these program expansions is a 45% increase in enrollment through retention and new admissions. Andrea has also skillfully navigated the school during this pandemic. And so with Bishop Conaty-Our Lady of Loretto on a firm path of academic excellence and growth, Andrea plans to retire once again at the end of this academic year. So thank you so much for all that you have done for the Wildcats since your arrival, and a big congratulations, along with our best wishes for what God has in store for you, okay? Thank you, Andrea. Next, we have Katrina Manzania. She is a current CEF senior at Bishop Conaty. Katrina has applied to 9 universities and colleges in pursuit of a career in nursing. Katrina has spent many hours volunteering at both Good Samaritan Hospital and Cedars-Sinai. When asked to describe her favorite thing, she replied, "My laptop," because the possibilities are endless. From connecting with my friends and family from around the world to academic purposes to further my future. That is solid. I love that. And when you have a tool and you are grateful and you know that it's a powerful resource, it's always good to have that in your pocket. So thanks, Katrina. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to be with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Jeanette Marroquin is who we have next. She also is a current senior at Bishop Conaty. Jeanette Marroquin awaits decisions from the 6 universities where she has submitted applications. Jeanette has attended the Young Lawyers program at Loyola Law School for the past 2 years, where they currently meet virtually each Thursday to discuss their mock trial. Jeanette describes her favorite thing as school. It helps keep me distracted and busy during these troubling times. Thank you so much for jumping on and being a part of yet another one of our episodes, Jeanette. You're a rock star.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I don't know if she's joined yet, but she's a busy student at UCLA right now. Her name is Imani McGregory, and we're just so honored to have her come back and give a bit of a testimony and let us know how college life is going. But she graduated as a red tie at St. Mary's Academy in 2019, And so Imani is currently in her 2nd year at UCLA, where she majors in human biology and society with a double minor in African American studies and entrepreneurship. Imani's overall goal in life is to have her own practice as a cardiothoracic surgeon that has the African American community as its focal point. Fun fact about Imani is, as a result of this pandemic, Imani did not allow boredom to prevent her from being productive. Instead, she managed to create a clothing brand that embraces the diversity of the millennial generation. I have not yet seen if she's on, but thank you so much for spending some time and just, slotting a little bit of space for us. We're so happy to have you, Imani. And with that said, now, before we start learning about all these amazing educational tracks at both our high schools that we have on today's session, I'd love to find out, of course, what you all brought to drink this morning. Andrea, what have you brought to drink this morning?
I brought coffee in my Count Your Blessings mug.
Yes, count your blessings. It's remember that, guys. Remember that. Thank you, Andrea. Thanks so much for being here. Next up, I'm going to ask Chris, what are you having today?
So I'm drinking my morning usual black coffee, and I'm drinking it out of my Idaho Vandals mug. That is where I received my bachelor's degree from the University of Idaho. So go Vandals.
Amazing. I hear it's beautiful out in Idaho. I've yet to go, but thanks, Chris. Really appreciate it. And Jeanette, how about you? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking tea in my Loteria cup.
Yay, Loteria from Starbucks. That's awesome. They're always so creative over there. They make the morning fun. Thanks, Janeth. I appreciate it. And now, Katrina, what are you drinking in the morning?
So I have my cold brew in my mason jar and my metal straw.
There you go. Reusable. I love that. And I'm going to look really quick and see if Imani, I think we told her to log on a little bit later. So when she gets here and she says hello, no, she's here. Imani, woo-hoo. I saw you. I was scrolling through. I saw you. Yes. Can you unmute and let us know what you're drinking this morning? Or if you brought something to drink, let us know what it is. And if it's in a nice cup or a favorite cup of yours, let us know about your mug as well.
I have orange juice, and that's it. Just orange juice.
Nice. Well, thank you for bringing your juice and obviously all of your talents and experience.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. And so what we will do this morning, now that we've gotten sort of our beverages out of the way, that's our quintessential sort of icebreaker for these programs, and we love to hear that little personal side of everyone. I am going to start off by asking both Chris and Andrea to fill us in on the various magnet programs and career pathways that you offer at your respective schools. And if you could, do me a favor and let us know how long they've been around and how long you've been offering them. I will go ahead and start with Chris. Is that okay?
That works for me. Thank you so much, Johnny, for introducing all of us. Before really we get started, I really just want to thank CEF. It is by far one of our biggest donors at St. Mary's Academy. It would be very difficult for us to not function as a school without your support. So I just want to thank you, Johnny, and everyone else from CEF for allowing us to have this opportunity to kind of pay it forward and work with you and coffee with CEF. This is my second session. The first one last year, or this past summer, was fun, so I'm excited about this morning. So at St. Mary's Academy, obviously we work hard to offer a strong, rigorous college prep program, regardless if a student is in a career pathway or not. But really, it goes without saying that our three career pathways are really kind of the hallmarks of our school and kind of our three pillar programs of our academic programming. Our oldest program, which has been around since the early 2000s, is our health career program. And that's actually, you'll hear a little bit more from Imani here soon. She is an alum from our health careers program. Our other two career pathways are a little bit younger, but they are engineering, which there's a lot of exciting things going on there, as well as our arts pathway, which is a really unique and interesting pathway in that it's actually three pathways within a single pathway, covering media arts, visual arts, and performing arts. And with these three pathways, really the ultimate goal of them is obviously to provide great educational experiences within the classroom, but really the important piece and really what we try to continually work to provide to our students is an experiential education where they're actually able to work in the field, work with professionals. We are so blessed at St. Mary's Academy that each one of the directors of these pathways are actual professionals or have worked in those fields prior to becoming the directors of those pathways. So really our goal is to make sure that our students in these pathways are not just able to take great classes, which they obviously do, but they're able to gain experience in those fields that ultimately set them up for success when they go on to college and beyond.
That's incredible. Thank you so much. And so what we will do now is go over to Andrea, and if you could fill us in and inform us of the amazing magnet programs that you have there at Bishop, and let us know also how long they've been around. Thank you.
Of course. We have 5 magnet programs at Bishop Conaty, Our Lady of Loretto High School. They all have been with us 3 years, so they were brought in 3 years ago. We have medicine, law, education, film production, and engineering. So those are the 5 magnet programs. Each magnet program has 3 basic branches. One is the academics, and as part of the academics, many of the magnet programs tie into our dual credit program, our college program, which is offered on our campus. The second thing is their Christian service or their internships, which they experience. And the third part, the third branch, is exploration through guest speakers and workshops. So those are kind of the three branches allowing our students to explore. That's pretty much it. I want the girls to talk about their involvement because it's always much more interesting coming from the students.
We will definitely get to them here shortly as well. Thank you, Andrea. I'm so proud and so glad to hear that you have these magnet programs and such a diverse selection of them too. And so preparing them for whatever their heart desires and wherever their interests are. I'm so glad that both you and Chris and all the other schools that have these as well have that chance to kind of guide them in the direction that sort of God has prepared them for. So that's truly remarkable. Thank you. And so what I will do now is, since we have limited time with Imani, and she's with us now, she's taking some time away from her current class at UCLA in order to be with us. So I will ask just a couple of questions, Imani. First, I want to know is, can you give us some insight on what college has looked like for you these past 11 months?
College has been absolutely amazing. I feel like I was well prepared going into UCLA. I'm going to admit it is challenging. UCLA is a very hard school, but I'm in love with the classes that I'm taking. So that experience has allowed me to, get through these challenging classes. And I love UCLA so much.
I'm so glad to hear. Oh my goodness, such a nice part of town too. So the next thing as well too is which program did you participate in while you were at St. Mary's? I
was a part of the health careers program.
Great. And so how would you say that it helped prepare you for the classes that you're in now, or I guess the trajectory that you're on now too? Maybe some specific ways and maybe some highlighting of some big events, or where did you go when you did some of the hands-on training?
So my freshman year, I was not a part of any career path program.
Okay.
I wanted to strictly just, do GE classes and play basketball. And that's just what I thought my high school journey was going to be like. But I absolutely fell in love with the health careers program. My cousin had actually passed away my sophomore year, or the summer of my sophomore year. So that in itself guided me to find the health careers program at St. Mary's Academy. And when I joined, I fell in love. We were able to visit hospitals. We were able to volunteer at different institutions. We helped with the Red Cross programs at our school. Like even at the hospitals, we were able to be in the NICU, emergency room, like really hands-on experiences at these hospitals. And that's when I knew, what the medical field is where I want to be and I have to be in it. And I feel like now at UCLA, taking these hard classes, advanced biology, advanced chemistry, different labs, it's amazing when like different subjects come up from what I was taught at St. Mary's Academy in my classes to in these advanced classes, and I already have the background knowledge on what I need to know. So I feel like that in itself is just amazing of how much St. Mary's offers for classes at schools like UCLA.
Amazing. And it seems like it has provided you with a big advantage. And so you're very well spoken, you're very articulate, and it just seems like the sky is the limit for you. That's amazing. We're so happy that you're doing so well there, and that you have this spirit of just having this confidence and that you're excited. I think excitement about something, passion about the things that you do is really what gets you far. So Imani, it's so glad to see that in you today. And you know what? I do invite you to stay as long as you can, but we will go on to the next students. But on behalf of CEF and everyone here on this call, I could probably speak for is that we wish you all the best, and we pray that you stay strong as the end of this year approaches fast. I mean, it's only a few months away, but God bless with everything, Imani. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay, girls, Katrina and Jeanette, which programs are you in right now? Let's go with Katrina first.
I am in the medical magnet program right now.
Awesome. Very, very needed, I would say, especially with this past year that we've been in. So that's just great that to hear that you're in that. And so, well, let's go over to Jeneth. Jeneth, which program are you currently in?
I am currently in the Law Magnet program.
Yes, 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 yes. And this is your second or third year?
I've been in this program since I was a freshman.
Awesome. Awesome. That is amazing. Wow. And so, you know what I'm going to do now, Jeneth, as well, too, is like, why was it law? Was there a family experience? Was there something that you saw just in your community that you felt like was a need and that you needed to sort of answer that need or be there to find the solution? I guess the question is, why did you choose law, Jeneth?
My dream as a little kid has always been to be a criminal justice lawyer. I want to be a lawyer because I feel that lawyers have a chance to further the public good and have an impact on the world, on the way this world runs. And I really want to be a lawyer that's able to help communities that don't have enough resources.
Wow, that's very, very admirable. Thank you, Jeneth. How about you, Katrina? What was the driving force behind you choosing your health career?
I am interested in the medical field because actually ever since my scoliosis transfusion surgery in 2016, it really changed my outlook on life and sparked my drive to stop or for a good and stable future. The healthcare that the Children's Hospital of LA provided me with the first time I met with the doctors and nurses to the last post-surgery checkup really showed their endless support to ensure a brighter and healthier future. And so that overall experience and also with the guiding influence with my sister, who is a newly registered nurse, inspired me to become to the decision to become a nurse in myself in the future. The opportunity to work with patients one-on-one in a hospital and ensuring the same accommodating experience to other people is what ultimately drives my passion and dedication to help others get back into good health. So.
Katrina, yes, I'm so glad. That is so nice. And Jeneth, I'm going to go back as well. I'm going to go kind of back and forth with everyone on this call, but Jeneth, as far as the Loyola law, how are you guys able to continually meet even through this pandemic? And how has it been there at Loyola?
So I'm currently a part of the Loyola Law School Young Lawyers program. This is my second year being part of it. Although, of course, there's a pandemic going on, I still meet every Thursday for about 2 hours via Zoom to discuss a mock trial that we are currently working on. In the program, we hear from several judges and lawyers that come and speak to us on their profession, and we're able to gain great advice from all of them. In the end of April, we're going to present the mock trial that we have been working on for the past months. In that mock trial, there's going to be a LA County judge and a real jury.
Wow. Well, that's got to be super exciting. And have you ever done a mock trial, I guess, in the previous years that you were with Loyola?
This is my second year. So last year we started the mock trial, and like a month before it got canceled, everything got canceled because the pandemic was just starting. And yeah.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that's amazing. And so this is every Thursday. You guys are still jumping on Zoom, and how has that changed? Do you feel like you still get that same experience? Has it gotten better maybe through Zoom? Are you guys able to get through things a lot quicker? Or how has it been, kind of still engaging in that the young lawyers program from home? How has that been for you?
Actually, at home, I feel like we are able to get a lot done, and we also are able to go overtime. We meet from 4 to 6, but sometimes we'll end like 4 to 6:30, and it's actually really good. And we're able to meet with real lawyers. Like the lawyers are the ones who help us prepare for the mock trials. They're our mentors, so it's a really good program, and I'm able to learn a lot. And I feel that this program has really helped me feel prepared to when I go to college, I have enough knowledge and confidence that I will be having through my career.
Oh, I 100% agree, Jeneth. That's amazing. And I'm going to jump right back to Katrina as well too. How has the shift from doing sort of everything now, maybe in your home or sort of a bit isolated as well too, how has that change been for you?
So it has been a smooth transition from going to in person to online. But ever since, we were online since the end of my junior year, it has been a very smooth transition. But as regards to my volunteer experience, I have switched over gaining my hours to finding a virtual shadowing program online. So this program allows me to watch Zoom conferences and learn about different departments and areas of medicine, which are hosted by medical students, pre-med students, and healthcare professionals in different fields and specialties. So that really allows me to gain a better insight on the different fields I maybe want to go in. So maybe like cardiothoracic department, or maybe with just the emergency, I don't know, it depends. So through this program, I am going on Zoom every Tuesday and just really listening to these professionals and gaining new experiences and insights. So
that's amazing. And so I heard you say it's, you know, there's so many options right now. The doors are sort of all opening for you. And one thing I would say is don't feel rushed. You know, life and God will take us through so many ups and downs and paths, and you don't have to have everything figured out. But the fact that you're taking action and just going forward, that in itself is gonna continually open up those doors for you. So just take ease and take confidence in the fact that you are where you're supposed to be, and you're doing so well at it too. So you as well, Jeanette, you both are very articulate, and I can't wait to see what the future has in store for you. So thanks so much for joining us today, and please stay on as well too. But if you have to leave, don't feel sort of embarrassed or anything. I know that school is very busy for you ladies right now, so thank you. And so what I will do is I'm going to segue over to our amazing audience. I guess if I can call you audience, but just everyone who's on this call as well too. We ask for questions, but you know what comes in are affirmations, and it's amazing to see. And so we've got tons of them already. I'm going to just go through a few. You guys have all seen it because it says everyone, but Dr. Nicole Johnson says, college ready. I love SMA. Mrs. Apablasa, Imani isn't just a science star. She was one of my top students in AP English also. She can do it all. Congratulations on your success, Imani. That's from Diane there at Bishop Conaty, who's on the call with us. And Dr. Nicole Johnson is a blue tie graduate from 1996. And she says, way to go, little sister, to Imani. So amazing stuff. We're so glad. Thank you. Continue to pour in the love and the support for all of our guests every episode. But today has been awesome to see everybody so proud of the women that we have here today. And that's the reason why we brought you on, is to congratulate you and to give you some support along the way. And so thank you so much for sharing your guys' journeys. I'm going to jump over back to our administrators. And so I have a few more questions for you as well, too. Let's go to Andrea. And so, Andrea, this may be a dumb question, but how exactly are you able to offer these programs to your girls? I'd imagine you probably have many partners who I'd assume are also interested in providing, you know, access to their facilities, especially for the next and, you know, upcoming leaders. So how do you make it happen, Andrea?
We do have quite a few partners that are really great with our girls. One of the new things that we're exploring is UCLA and SC dental schools. And they're very interested in a partnership with us. We've actually been working on that for over a year before the pandemic. And so that's something that's going to be coming up in the future. But Loyola Law School, there are just so many places that just welcome these students. The Los Angeles Zoo, the animal shelters, if they're interested in the veterinary part of the medical program. Basically, our partners are where our girls are able to go. Global Arts is a partnership that is new to us, and that will also be tying into our film production. So we have, we've been doing a lot of things with Marvel Studios, and there's just many groups that are encouraging and supporting our programs.
That's remarkable to hear. I think definitely in the right city for that film production too. But I'm sure it's for some of these girls, it's got to be like, where do I even start? The city's so big, and the world and life is so big. But to be able to be at home at your own school and be able to gain all these skills, it's got to be amazing. So thanks, Andrea. I'm gonna go to Chris now too. Chris, how does St. Mary's make it happen?
Yeah, so as we've alluded to here, the important piece of these pathways, whether it's our career pathways, or I'm sure also at Bishop County Loretto as well, is we want to provide that experiential education. And so it's one thing, again, to offer great in-class curriculum. For example, with our engineering pathway and our health career pathway, we partner with Project Lead the Way, which is a phenomenal curriculum that's project-based, allows students to really get immersed in some of the concepts that they're experiencing. But really, how we're able to really drive this thing is our partnerships with various groups, whether it's in our health careers. Traditionally, we've been able to partner with, I know Imani shared the visiting hospitals. We have a great partnership with Providence Little Company of Mary Hospital down in Torrance. Whether it's our engineering career pathway, we have a great partnership with a group called ACE, Architecture, Construction, and Engineering, where actually right now our engineering students are gearing up for their ACE competition. Every year, different schools that are involved in the ACE program have a different design challenge. And so it's really exciting. This year, they're still competing, even virtually, but they are designing with the help of architects that are in the field, designing plans for bridge housing in Los Angeles. So that's a really exciting partnership that we have there. But even in our arts pathway, being able to offer, opportunities for students to virtually visit with the Smithsonian, everything to, film production crews. But obviously, in this time we're in right now, partnerships can be a little more difficult. But with that said, we didn't just rest on that and say, well, we can do what we can. We were able to partner with another great group. It's called NEPRIS, where they connect virtually students and teachers with people in the field of what that might be. So again, for our career paths, great doctors and other people in the medical profession, being able to connect with them, engineers, whatever that might be, not stopping and being and saying, we're just going to stop here, but still being able to provide those opportunities to connect in those careers. So just like Imani, when she's at UCLA or wherever they're at, I always love hearing a student say, I remember that from high school. And that is one of the best compliments as a high school administrator you can get when you are exposing those types of experiences for your students while they're in high school, prepping them for that next level at the university level.
Oh, absolutely. That's it. I mean, those are huge partnerships, and for you guys to be offering this for so many years, so close to 2 decades. I mean, these are very good partnerships to have. And so thank you so much for keeping those alive. We have a few more comments from our chat feature, which is just going so crazy, and I love it. So Imani, they keep coming in. Hopefully they can call you Dr. McGregory in the future. So keep it up. I love it. Another one that we had too was this. I guess this goes for Chris. How did you get Pltw set up at your school? In terms of the process, the program looks incredible, is what they said.
Yeah, so actually, using Project Lead the Way curriculum, it's even though our health careers, for example, is quite a number of years old, we've only introduced Project Lead the Way curriculum, I would say, last 3 or 4 years, maybe a little bit longer. The process, I will say, it's a great partnership. It's a great set of curriculum to be able to use in your classrooms. There are a lot of upfront costs. So once again, organizations, whether it's CEF or other partnerships that we have with other groups, when I say having partnerships with groups like CEF, supporting us as a school and supporting our students, being able to take on those type of programs with that heavy financial burden that comes with that, we wouldn't be able to do it with that support. So I guess getting into the specifics of how do you pick your classes and things like that, that kind of all depends on what is the need of your specific program and what the ultimate outcome you want. But in short, how you get something like PLTW set up, have great partnerships with incredible organizations like the Catholic Education Foundation.
Oh, that's great. And I hope that did answer that question. And of course, this is another reminder. If you have any other questions for our guests, please continue to type them into the chat feature, and we'll address them later on in the program. So with that, I have just a few more questions before we wrap up today. And I'm going to give it, I'm going to really give it to you both here. This may be a tough one. So Andrea, which program are you seeing the most impact and overall success with? I'm sure it'll be tough to pick one over the others, but which one are you seeing that's really sort of shining? Not really outshining, but is just the one that you can really speak on?
I think that with the girls' interest, the medical magnet is the one that they are the most girls want to be involved with. And then comes law, then comes engineering, then comes film production, then comes education. Education is the easiest one for us to form partnerships. Obviously, our girls are tutoring, remotely and things of that nature. But most of our girls are really interested in either law, medicine, or engineering. A few in film production, but a smaller group, definitely.
Right. And so I know you guys are always up on the data and the metrics, and so I love that you had it in order as well too. How exactly they are all performing, which is so good. And also, I guess, Chris, how about for you? Is there one that's like the standout program that you just can't stop getting people to sign up for? And which one is that?
Yeah. So. Our health careers pathway is our oldest pathway. And so it tends to be year after year our most popular in terms of applications from matriculating 8th graders. But with that being said, take our arts career pathway, for example. Ms. Mirashevsky, our arts career path director, might be mad at me if I get this statistic wrong, so I apologize preemptively, but I believe it's 1 in 5 new jobs in the city of Los Angeles are in some form of arts. So you kind of alluded to it earlier, being in the city of Los Angeles for some type of arts career, what better city to be in for that? So there's a lot of interest for that as well. And even our engineering program, especially being able to partner with groups. I had mentioned ACE, but lumping in, our robotics team as well, and being able to take what we're doing in the classroom and apply it, especially for students, who are engineers and tend to be more, tactile learners and wanting to do rather than just, talk about things in class. So being able to really be hands-on, whether it's with our various partnerships or competing in our robotics teams, things like that. It's an exciting time for our career pathways, but probably simply because it is our oldest, our health careers tends to be our most popular.
Perfect. That's amazing. And so this is kind of, since we got to organize this episode before it started, I know the answer, but this is something I do want to highlight so everyone on the call understands too. So I'm going to ask it in this sort of planted way. For both Andrea and Chris, how early, so we're talking about inclusivity, how early can your girls take advantage of these programs? So we know how college is. You have to have prerequisites. You got to take this class before you get the really nice class. And so what do girls have to do in order to jump into these programs? And how early can they do that? Andrea, I would love to hear from you first.
Our girls can actually start exploring the program as freshmen. So they can do Christian service in the areas. They can go and hear the guest speakers. They start having experiences, and many of our freshmen already take our dual credit classes. And so they are able to start branching at a very, very early age. I think Jeanette referred to, she's been in it during her whole high school career.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And I think that's so amazing. for those students who do sort of know where they're going, they can just hit the ground running with those, and that's amazing. Since from freshman year on, I mean, that's a lot of experience. We just got a comment in the chat feature says, when I went to school, this is the person saying these programs are wonderful. When we were in school, there was no opportunity for us to explore the possible careers that were out there other than a part-time or a summertime job. So to be able to do this while you're going to school and to hone in on the places and the subjects that mean the most to you it's remarkable. That's amazing. And so I'm going to bounce it over to Chris now too. Chris, how early can your students take advantage of your career pathways?
So we do ask our students to, when they apply to our school, they either apply to one of our 3 career pathways or our traditional college prep pathway. With that being said as well, there are some exceptions, like Imani shared. She did not join the health careers pathway until she was a sophomore, but overwhelming majority our students are coming to us from 8th grade into 9th grade, going straight into those programs, being important that right as they're freshmen, they can get involved in those experiences, touring the hospital, having, visits, whatever that might be. There are some times where, a student will start in a pathway and then realize I have just as much other interest over here. So we've had examples where, a student might be in our health career pathway, but then is also really interested in art. So I believe it was last year we had a graduating senior who wants to be a medical illustrator. So what better way to, opportunity for a double pathway there. And obviously it's challenging, it's more work, but students that are willing and able to take on those challenges, we want to support them if it's possible.
Oh, definitely. That's so good to hear. Wow. So I think that's it for us today, as far as like the cores, sort of highlighting and tooting the horn of your guys' programs. And so I'd love to get into a piece of maybe what's at your guys' heart right now. And so as we get closer to this hour mark, I just want to see, is there anything that we, CEF, everybody on the call, is there anything that we can do for you at St. Mary's, Andrea and Diane, for you at Bishop Conaty? Are there any needs that are really pressing now, a year after this pandemic has sort of swept the nation? And this could be in the way of any fundraising campaigns that you got going on right now, or any student performances that we can all virtually attend. Just let us know if there's something that's active and that you guys are really excited about right now that maybe we can all take kind of participate in.
Okay, first of all, from my parents and my students, we want to thank CEF, because our school and our programs would not be available for the majority of our students if they did not have the financial support that CEF gives them. So thank you from my parents and my students. And at this point, I'd like to turn that question over to Diane Teckham, who is our Director of Advancement in Finance. So Ms. Teckham.
Hey, good morning. Thank you so much for highlighting these programs. They're amazing programs. And just because I'm a little bit of a historian for Bishop Conaty, to know that our school was originally developed with 6 orders of religious, each teaching in a different department. And back in the 1950s, the Sisters of Mercy created this business school. And so that was probably the first real pathway that was at Conaty back then. So we know it works. We've seen it in the past, and these students are flourishing now. In terms of what people can do for our school right now, because of the terrible suffering so many of our families have experienced, and obviously everyone in the world, but I'm focused on the LA region. We have a COVID-19 emergency appeal that allows us to provide assistance to those families who are really struggling, want their daughters to stay in Catholic high school, but just need that little extra. So there is, I think, Johnny, I think I had provided the link on that if anyone would like to make a donation. also, if you're interested specifically in our magnet programs, bringing in additional speakers. If you, an individual or an organization, please reach out to me. I can certainly get you into the groove of what we're doing to enhance the girls' education. And then I guess finally, just prayer for continued recovery and to get out of this very difficult past year. Prayer that our students can get out of their bedrooms and back to school buildings. I know they're in school, but I'm just grateful sports is coming up this week, so we can at least get some fresh air.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. And we will definitely consider all of those things. And so we will put up the link at the end of the show as well, too, for any interested folks that do want to visit and learn more and are compelled as well to give. That would be of great help. And thank you for highlighting that for us, Diane. Another thing as far as history as well, too, Catholic Education Foundation had a wonderful, wonderful sort of cornerstone in a student. Sister Mary Jean Meyer, so long ago, was one of the beginnings, some of those seedlings that were planted with Roger Mahoney. And so she graduated from Bishop Conaty, and I mean, the reason why the foundation is here is in part due to her and her work. So career pathways, yes, big things can happen, Jeanette and Katrina and Imani. So you never know what's in store for you. So thank you. You can help so many more people than you could ever imagine. So thanks for that, Diane. I appreciate that. And Chris, is there anything that maybe some of us on this call or all of us can partake in your mission and what you guys are doing?
Sure. So my appeal will sound similar to what we just heard, in that overwhelmingly our greatest need is financial aid support. And then especially in the recent times, we also have a COVID-19 fund as well. A school like ours, 96% of our students are on some form of financial assistance. And so I feel like a broken record, but once again, having a partner like CEF that does support so many of our students helps us further support them as well. We do have an event coming up on March 27th. It is our Spring Tea and Online Auction. That's just another opportunity. Normally in the spring, we'll have our gala. Unfortunately, we weren't able to have our gala last spring as we would normally, but being able to hold this event this spring on March 27th will hopefully allow us to, again, contribute to those funds, again, our financial aid support and our COVID-19 relief fund, just to really make sure that we're able to support our students and families.
Oh, what a wonderful idea. That's amazing. And so we had someone chime in as well, too. Is it possible for the high schools, obviously both on this call, to provide the feeder elementary schools a one-pager kind of highlighting the wonderful programs that you offer? I'm sure that'll help with some of the recruitment and building a nice package for those middle school and elementary school families to better understand what are the best options for their students. So is that possible? I think it would be, right? Chris?
Absolutely. Again, you can see in the chat, Stephanie Gordon is our wonderful healthcare pathway director. Definitely, we're always trying to figure out new and innovative ways to make sure that the world knows about our great programming. I think sometimes as Catholics, we try to be modest, but it's important at the same time to share all the great things that are happening, because there is a lot of great things happening at both of our schools, and the more that people can hear our message, the better.
Oh, I can't agree with you more than that. Andrea as well, and Diane, I guess you guys could answer that same thing. I mean, providing a one-page would probably be very helpful, and I'm sure you both, or one of you could offer that to your feeder schools. What are some of the feeder schools for Bishop Conaty?
Oh, wow. We actually, Diane helped me here. I think we have 45 or 48. Am I correct?
In the current freshman class, we have 48 feeder schools.
Wow.
And 37 of them are Catholic schools, and the rest are private or charter or public schools.
Wow. Yeah.
And yes, we actually do have that information. It does go out through our marketing department, but I think Tina brings up a very good point that maybe some others aren't doing that. And because we had we do have that available on our website. We call them programs of distinction. And we also have Road to Success, which highlights the support programs that the school also has. And I believe that's a great idea, and we will get on it, and I will get those sent out to the feeder schools, because I agree. I think that with marketing, you know, we're focused on parents and students, and maybe the administrators and teachers don't always get to see that.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. And I think that's something that we jumped onto as well too, is like finding different avenues to really get out there to the parents and to the people who really need it. And so we did something similar. We kind of did like a little poster board. And so in addition to our website, we also just said, here, send this stuff out. There's something great happening. And so as long as our middle schools and our elementary schools have like something they can show, I think we've heard that it would be beneficial. And so Tina, great idea. I think that's part of the partnership of showing up to these things, is that we can all help each other with all the great ideas. And in a time like this, when we're just stuck at home trying to mine for content, like Diane said, it's always helpful to get different perspectives and have people help out in that way. So along with the links that we'll show you at the end, you guys can all reach out to these schools if you have any more questions for them. I know our hour mark really, you know, approaches super quick. And so I just want to give one last thank you to Jeanette, to Katrina, for taking this time. I know this sets you back a bit, but thanks for spending it with us and letting us know about your future. We all cannot wait to call you, Katrina, Dr. Manzania, and Jeanette, to see you in those courtrooms and bringing justice to this community that is in need of healing. So thank you, and keep it going. Keep it going. And Imani, I don't know if you're still here. You probably jetted out, but you know, you're almost done too. And we all on this call and so much further, we all wish you the best in your career and your future too. So thanks for being on here with us. And so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and share screen and do a few last announcements. So before this hour wraps up, stick with us just for a few more seconds. And so one of those things is just like I said, thank you, Andrea, Chris, Imani, Katrina, and Jeanette for being here and just accentuating this program and bringing to life the passionate work that you guys do for your girls. So we'd like to extend another big thank you to all the Catholic schools, the ones that are on this call, the ones that are just working behind the scenes that have not been on Coffee with CF. We're going to find you and bring you on here. But thanks so much for doing everything you do. The pastors, the administrators, for keeping your schools open, especially this time now. It seems like this next 6 months is going to be very exciting to find a way that's very safe and that's very feasible for all of our students to get back into in school and in-person instruction. So thanks to all of those schools. And as we heard today, the need is even greater right now for financial aid. And so that's sort of what we do. If you feel compelled and you are able to give right now, that would be beyond helpful for so many outlets. And so do remember 100% of your contribution goes directly to the students to fund those tuition awards. So if you'd like to learn more about St. Mary's Academy and Bishop Conaty-Our Lady of Loretto, we have the websites here. Unfortunately, I don't think you can click on your screen to get to them, so I will leave them up for a second. Take note of them. I'm going to have Sandra throw those into the chat feature so you could just click on it and hopefully a window shows up and you can bookmark it. But any information to learn more about the programs, to ask Dr. Anderson, to ask Diane and Andrea some questions, or to bid farewell to Andrea, just go ahead into that website and you can learn everything about our amazing all-girls schools throughout the Archdiocese of Los Angeles. And a reminder, next week, March 3rd at 10 a.m., we are so blessed to have Principal Marissa May and Sean Bayer from the Notre Dame School in Santa Barbara. We are also going to be having Dr. Elizabeth Gregg, who's on the call with us today, from the Archdiocese of LA's Department of Catholic Schools. On the first hand, we will be hearing the journey that Notre Dame had and is currently having to get their first round of students back onto campus for in-person instruction. And so they have students that are currently at school right now. And so we want to hear about how they were able to do that. And we will also receive an update for the future of our schools as it pertains to keeping our students safe while introducing them back onto their campuses this year from Dr. Elizabeth. So it's going to be an amazing episode. Please make sure you RSVP and schedule out that 10 to 11 period on Wednesday to be here with us. And you can do that at Coffee with CEF is the link afterwards. So it's www.cefdn.org/coffee with CEF. Just like you got here today, do the same thing every single week. That would be amazing. It would help us all out. And that concludes our episode. And we just hope that you really gained a lot of insight, some learning, educational information on these schools, and just to propel us into the rest of this week. It's so beautiful to see our students again and to see that they're doing great work. So thank you so much to everyone for coming. And that is it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, everybody.